AFN Evening News.
Good evening. The party begins tonight at midnight when the Federal Republic of Germany absorbs their neighbors to the east, the German Democratic Republic. We begin our coverage on this historic night with specialist John Hansen.
This was nearly 11 months ago. The wall separating East and West Germany had collapsed, and Germany was in a state of euphoric shock.
Anyone who claims that he saw the year 1989 and 1990 coming is a liar. No one saw the changes that were going to occur in the East Bloc that were going to occur in Germany.
Germany will become the largest country in Western Europe. With the erasure of what once was the Iron Curtain between the two Germanys, West Germany's 250,000 square kilometers will take on 110,000 square kilometers of what used to be East Germany. The country will be home to 77.5 million people, 61 million from the West, 16.5 million from the East. It's these 16 million former East Germans who will personally bear the brunt of unification.
I will give you an example. The Minister President of the GDR, Herr de Maizière, earns about 2,700 Deutschmark. That's the same income my secretary has today. So we will have, for the time being, a two-class society. That means people in Eastern Germany will earn less, they have to pay a lower rent, they will earn less, and people in this part of Germany will earn much more money.
Best economic estimates estimate the German workers, East German workers, are one-third as productive as Western German workers. This means a fantastic retraining program. And when you're talking about basically a working force, the actual working force itself, not the population, working force of about 8.5 million people, that is a fantastic task.
Despite tough times ahead for former East Germans, the country itself will be an economic dynamo. The former bottleneck for East-West military standoff will now be the gate through which the East will economically join with the West.
Russia is already moving toward economic integration with Germany. The countries of the Warsaw Pact are depending upon Germany for economic development aid, grants. These countries are depending upon Germany for trade. Thirdly, and just as important, they are depending upon Germany's support for their entry into the European Economic Community.
Since 1945, the American military has had stake on German soil. At first, in an occupational role during the denazification process of post-World War II. Later, as a German ally in the NATO pact. And now, the jury is still out regarding the future of this American role. Budget cuts at home and a changing political climate are forcing some units, like the U.S. Command Berlin, to close up shop.
The Germans desire the maintenance of American troops in larger than symbolic numbers. They are in no hurry to see the removal of U.S. armed forces.
If you ask about the Hessian government, we have some special problems, especially in this highly populated area. So we would be glad if we had, let's say, a sort of withdrawal from these specially named areas.
These sudden changes in Germany have created a volatile environment. Extremists from both the left and the right are showing their discontent over unification by starting street riots and vandalizing buildings in major cities like Frankfurt and Berlin. Meanwhile, celebrations are planned all across the country tonight, and the average German looks at unification as purely a positive step. No one really knows what will happen in the future of Germany, but the events of tonight and tomorrow are unique to history and will probably never be seen again. At midnight tonight, without a shot being fired, Germany becomes a new country. In Frankfurt, specialist John Hansen, AFN News.
One sure way to know times are changing in Berlin is the disappearance of signs and even facilities that were once reminders of a divided city. Checkpoints Alpha and Bravo stood for years on opposite sides of the Helmstedt Autobahn, directing Allied traffic through East Germany. Now the checkpoints have lost their significance and merely stand as historical reminders of over 44 years of sensitive Cold War relations between East and West. Unification also means the end of French, British, American, and Soviet sectors of Berlin. And signifying this end, the Department of Engineering and Housing painted over the sign located on top of Checkpoint Bravo, which informed millions of travelers they were leaving the American sector. Without a doubt, it's another chapter of Allied history coming to a close. In fact, the